Hey, this is Johnny Holes, and this is episode 9 of OCC. No, was it OCC? Oh, out of character. No, OOC. Is that how it works? I know I'm wearing a shirt that I wore in a previous episode, but you know what? I really don't give a shit. I know I look like hell, but I really don't give a shit. I want to talk about something that is just common amongst all of us. Everybody goes through it, and that's something they call pain. Emotional pain specifically is sometimes it feels worse than physical pain. It's a weird thing to say, but there are times where it would be a hell of a lot easier to be in physical pain than emotional. I know that makes absolutely no sense, and it's probably one of the dumbest things I've ever said, but to be totally honest with you, sometimes that crippling, unbearable feeling that just doesn't want to go away. Oh man, sucks. Really fucking sucks. I'm thinking a lot about my grandpa lately. Today is his 101st birthday, and I love the man more than anything on the planet. I haven't seen him in 8 years, and on October 25th, I'm supposed to be going out to New York to see him, and some other news that I don't want to get too personal is that I finally was able to sort of speak to my family through Facebook today, and it really, really touched me emotionally. I thought it was, it's been a very weird day. My emotions have been like this roller coaster. Sometimes I don't know if I'm making any sense whatsoever when I talk. Sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I feel like the words are just coming out incoherently. Just babbling. I know the worst is having a conversation with somebody, just a regular conversation, not a debate or an argument, just a regular and then suddenly, just in the middle of the conversation, having a panic attack for absolutely no reason whatsoever. It just happens, and all I'm doing is just talking to somebody. So I gotta fight my way through a panic attack and hope that the person that I'm speaking with doesn't know that I'm, experiencing all this. That's to me is an emotional pain that I could definitely do without. Could also do out with this other chin here. This is really disgusting. And I am growing my hair long, so I'm trying something different. So I know I look really like almost like some homeless dude or something, but I'm really kind of experimenting. I want to see what happens. Look at this. That's horrifying. But I think it's gonna be cool when it finally works itself out. Um, you would never know that I bathed yesterday. I look like a smelly dude. I kind of like it though. It's interesting. It's different. I don't know. I got that weird, you know, goatee thing coming back and whatever. I'm being vain here, but emotional pain sucks. Spending 28 years, maybe, I guess, just feeling horrible and not being able to get out of that weird mindset that's it puts you in this weird. Is that weird? Oh, yeah, that was attractive. That's what you need to see. Me yawning. You go into this weird funk where you can't feel anything. And that's the worst feeling in the world. I know it sounds kind of like an oxymoron, a feeling that's not a feeling. But when there's no emotion there, oh my god, it's fucking horrifying. I remember, I'm not sure if I mentioned this in an earlier podcast or not, but I remember getting into a car accident. I was driving to work one morning in New York. I was on the Southern State Parkway, and I'm in the middle lane, so I wanted to change lanes to go into the fast lane. I have this weird habit when I drive methodically, which means I drive in a pattern. Because of my anxiety disorder, there's certain things that I do that are kind of annoying to me. I don't know if other people notice, um, but I have this practice where I would get in the middle lane at this certain time while I was on the road. Then I would get in the fast lane because the lanes would kind of divide, and I would have to go into this one area. And I used to hate doing it because I would never felt safe changing the lanes because of the area. It's one of those weird things, especially when you're in rush hour in the morning. It's just very strange. And I didn't notice, but there was a woman next to me, who was driving, and I smashed into her car. I totaled her car, which and in return, her car totaled the car that I was driving, which wasn't even my car. It was a rental that somebody else had rented from me, which is another long story that I'm never gonna. I just we're crazy long. Um, so I'm driving this rental that is now become. It was like out of a movie. When I got out of that car, I remember my dad and my stepmother showing up, and the faces on there. Because they looked at, because I don't remember even getting out of the car until they got there. I don't remember. I don't. I remember a little. It was just the point of the story was when I was in the middle of the accident, while the accident was happening. I remember specifically not feeling anything. I didn't have that adrenaline push that you get when something, the flight or fight thing, that didn't happen. That didn't come in. I didn't feel that at all. I just felt the car swerving, and in my head, I just went, "Oh, great, you're in an accident." That literally went through my head. I was just the weirdest fucking moment, and I remember, like, and I remember almost acting like I was panicked because I didn't know how. The whole thing. I mean, I remember I wouldn't stop talking about it. When I get worried about something, I just keep repeating and talking about the same thing over and over again. And I remember getting into that accident and just it was fucking horrifying. It was just, oh man, God. There's so much in my head today that I don't even know if I'm making any sense. I really don't. I just like I'm just so kind of worried because I'm gonna fly out to not fly out. I'm gonna go out to New York and I'm gonna go see a 101-year-old man who is probably not well. I all I got from a text, not really a text message, a message on Facebook was, that he's getting confused every day. When I read that, I knew, this is bad. Is he gonna remember me when I see him? I don't know. I don't know. Getting cramps. I'm gonna keep this as raw as possible. I'm not gonna edit anything out. I'm just gonna keep it as it is. I don't know where this podcast is going today, but I wanna keep recording because I think it's important I don't know, man. I don't want to sound like a narcissist either. I know that there's some people out there that think that I have some kind of an ego. It's a character. That's the whole thing of the Johnny Holes things. It's just a guy who's kind of making fun of people who are inflated, and they have that ridiculous over the top self worth, which is something that I've noticed these days. Where if people are just really full of themselves nowadays, it's disturbing. It's just like, how far can you possibly go? It's look, just stay on level. Just seriously, don't, we're not all that important. I mean, we're important to the people in our lives, and there's people in our lives that are important to us. But we also need to realize that we're not as special as we think we are. We have to stop with the overabundance of, oh, it's just getting, it's nutty. It's really, the ego's on people sometime, man. Holy shit. I just want to be humble. If that's, I just be on level. Don't, nobody cares. I always thought that, there are moments where I've had in my life, see, I'm using the word I a lot, which is, narcissistic. But, there are moments in my life where, I thought I was just being genuine, and it came out as egocentric, and I didn't mean to do that, and I didn't even realize it. So I, it was just so strange. I don't know what the fuck I am talking about right now. Jesus Christ! I got to keep it going. I want to keep it real. My head is all over the place. This is like, I don't want to feel like this anymore. I'm so exhausted. I'm so tired. I know that I've left some cryptic messages on my Twitter page, and calling myself things. And I got to tell you, there were some times this past month I don't even know how I got through this month. I just I literally felt like a piece of shit. I don't know. Really, I hope that this is making sense. Once again, I want to keep this as raw and as real as possible. I know I repeated myself. I know I'm not making any sense right now. And I hope that I don't get shit for this and it becomes some kind of a joke, because it's not meant to. What I'm trying to do is just show just what it's like to go through. Maybe I'm having a bipolar episode. I don't know. I can't get my thoughts, and I can't get my thoughts in the right pattern. I can't stick to the if there's a narrative in my head that I can't stick to it. I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't I'm sorry, folks. This is probably the worst podcast I've ever recorded. I apologize if I hope I made some kind of sense. And I apologize if I didn't. Um The whole idea of this series is just to be brutally honest and to show all the scars and the wounds and all the disgusting stuff, just to sort of expose yourself. Ah, yeah, I know I said that. Hilarious. But I don't know, guys. Thanks for sticking around. If you're still here, I apologize for just babbling. If I really am sorry. Hopefully, I didn't waste anybody's time if they're listening to this right now. Um, hopefully, maybe that something came out of this because I'm not going to listen to it when I'm done. I'm just going to send it over to Mello and see, if he uploads it. As always, just please just leave your comments below, and I've been reading them, and if you could just make the comments make sense, because there's some out there that I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I'm like, what does that mean? It's just like, maybe I just missed something. I don't know. I don't know. But thanks for sticking around, folks. Thanks for listening, and thanks for just being there. You know, it's good to say thank you. It's good to remind people how well. You see now, before I went into this whole thing is to not telling people with the ego thing and all that other stuff. But now I want to tell you how important it is to tell people how important they are to you, what they mean, because that's important. That the people in your life know how important and what value they have to you. I think people need to know that. I think that's an important part. The ego thing, it's I don't know. We have to stop over asserting because it just gets scary and everybody when you're I guess when you're raised that way, you start to expect things, and it doesn't really. It gets weird, but the whole it's a generation thing, and probably gonna get hell for saying that too. So anyway, I'm sorry. Hopefully, this isn't gonna turn into some kind of a joke. No, and I don't want this to be too embarrassing. I just heard something too embarrassing. But anyway, guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for being here, and like, subscribe. And I promise you, the next episode will make sense, and it will have a narrative. All right. Take care.